Good morning and welcome to a day in Myanmar. This is the first day after the water festival, and I can see all around me people are breaking down their water stations and disconnecting their water hoses. So I hope I'm safe bringing my Panasonic camera out onto the streets. I don't want to get hit by a bucket of water if I can help it. My plan for today, my mission, is to go to the Shwedagon Pagoda, which is another one of these ancient pagodas in Yangon. It's about 2,500 years old, and it's quite a large pagoda, very special. It's said to have 8 hairs of the Buddha there as holy relics. The top of the pagoda, or the whole pagoda, is covered in plated gold. Historically, some of the kings and queens and leaders of this area donated, for example, like their entire body weight in gold that would then be laid on and hammered flat and added as plating. And it's also covered with thousands of diamonds. It's supposed to be quite a beautiful sight. So far, so good. When I walked down this street for the last 3 days, I wouldn't have gotten this far without being soaking wet. But today, perfectly dry, and I don't see any water buckets anywhere. We've got a little bit of the what would the smart person do and what would Doug do thing going on today, because the smart person would go to the pagoda early in the morning or late in the afternoon when it's cool and people go for the sunset and the sunrise. Doug, he goes in the middle of the day when it's brutally hot and is probably the worst time to go. But again, that's how I roll. I just happen to be ready midday, and that's when I'm going to go. And to get there, I'm going to try to take a local bus. I did a bit of research. I don't really know which bus to take, but I'm told that local people will help me out when I get to the bus station to figure it out. So that should be a small adventure to get to the pagoda. Along the way, I'm going to stop off and see a camera store. Turns out there's supposed to be quite a large professional one on a street near my hostel. On this street, in fact, 36th Street, where I am now. And it's supposed to be up here somewhere. Looks like most of the businesses are still closed for the festival, though. So I'll probably have to come back here on another day. And here it is here. The image, camera, and accessories store. Look at that. They got all the signs I like. GoPro, that's the main one that I'm interested in. They got Joby products. So I'm definitely staying in the right neighborhood. Running 2 cameras at the same time, to be honest, I'm really enjoying this, but it's also kind of confusing. I can barely handle 1 camera. I keep making mistakes. I'm recording video when I'm not supposed to be and vice versa. And now running 2 cameras is twice as complicated. Something that just occurred to me in the way of a technical note here is that if I'm going to be mixing footage from the Panasonic and the GoPro, I should probably put the GoPro on linear field of view rather than super wide fisheye, and it might not be quite as jarring to switch from the Panasonic to the GoPro. So that's what I've done now. I've got it on a linear field of view, which I think is a smaller field of view, and it makes it a bit flatter and like a normal perspective. So we'll see how that works. Now I have to turn off 2 cameras. On my way to the bus stop, I'm passing by the platform at City Hall, and this is where all the main action took place during the water festival. They are just starting to break it down now. Looks like such a different scene. And I'm coming up on the bus stop here. And I have to stop for a minute and look on my notes to see what bus can get me close to Shwedagon Pagoda. Not having much luck with my search for the buses yet. According to what I read online, you can take like 1 million different buses, and I'm looking for bus 37, 43, or 46, and they tell me that they all stop here at all these bus stops behind me. But I've walked up and down for quite a few minutes, and there are big signs for bus 12, bus 61, bus 9, bus 8, but I don't see any signs for any of the buses that I want so far. So I'm going to cross over this pedestrian bridge and see if they're on the other side here. I tried asking a couple of local people, but they didn't know what I was talking about. No luck on that side of the bridge. I didn't see any bus stops at all over there. So I'm going to have to come back here and try again. Oh, what do we got going on over there? Oh, that's the airport bus right there, YBS Airport, Sule. So it's good to know where that bus starts from if I ever decide to fly out of Yangon. Ah, here it is right here, the sign for the Sule Airport bus. And there ahead of me I see bus 61 and I see bus 12, bus 29. Oh, well, if bus 29 stops here, but I don't see a sign for bus 29, so maybe the signs are not complete. So I'll just wait here until one of my buses shows up. At least that's what I'll try to do. I'm on the city bus now. I was waiting for bus 37 or 43 or 46 or something like that, but it never came, and there were no signs for that. And then I met a local helper, this man over here. He is guiding me, and he just said we can get on bus number 12, and that's what we're on now, and it'll probably get us close to the pagoda, close enough anyway. And it's nicely air conditioned, so no problems at all. That's my bus behind me, bus 12, and I'm not exactly sure where I am, but I think I saw the pagoda, the tip of the pagoda, off in the distance behind me, so I think I'm close enough. And that bus ride was a good example of why I just never ride buses if I can help it. It's so crowded, and I always end up standing up, and I'm so tall that I can't see out the window. So you can never see where you're going. You have to hold on with both hands. So you can't pull out your phone to look at Google Maps to track your progress. And then I'm being thrown from side to side, you know, trying to keep my balance. And that's when you're on the bus. At the bus stop, you don't know when the bus is coming. Could be 1 minute, could be 30 minutes, could be never. You could be at the wrong bus stop. There's no signs to give you any information. So when you add all that together, sometimes I just prefer to start walking, and it might take me longer, but by the time I get there, kind of stress-free. Taking a bus is an adventure, but comes with a lot of stress. In praise of buses, now that I've criticized them so heavily, they're quite inexpensive. Cost 200 kyats to ride that bus, and it was nicely air conditioned. And yeah, that's about it. Inexpensive, air conditioned, and it brought me somewhere. And I appear to be closer to the Shwedagon Pagoda than I was 20 minutes ago. So all of that amounts to positive progress. Today still has something of a festive atmosphere. At least it feels that way to me. Though, to be honest, it could be just an ordinary day. I say it's festive because everyone is dressed so nicely, particularly the women in their traditional outfits. But I've noticed that they almost always dress like that. The traditional clothing that they wear is really stunning. Always very beautiful outfits. And this seems to be everyday wear for women here. So that's very nice. Looks like this narrow street down here might get me closer to the pagoda. I just caught a glimpse of it up ahead. A lot of people out today, even some cyclists. And that could be spillover from the New Year holiday still. It's officially over, but I think a lot of people are considering today a holiday as well. And I think it's very popular to go to this pagoda and to go to the Hanging Rock at this time of year. So it's probably quite busy. I'm starting to get tiny glimpses of the pagoda ahead of me. Fun fact, it is 110 meters high, and I believe it has 4,531 diamonds encrusted on it, and the largest diamond is 72 carats in size, which is pretty amazing. For a foreigner to visit the pagoda, you have to pay an entrance fee now of about 10,000 kyats, which is, what, $6 or $7, something like that. I was told before coming here it was about $25, so I'm glad to hear that that rumor was not correct. $6 or $7 is more reasonable. It looks to be quite a busy market area up ahead there, but I think if I go down this side street, it will take me to the east gate into the pagoda complex, because it's much more than just the Shwedagon Pagoda. It sits on a grounds of 114 acres in size, and it has a main gate on all of the 4 compass points. And I believe it sits on a little bit of a hill. I can just see the hill rising above me there. Still a lot of people going to the pagoda. There were probably a lot more this morning when all the sensible people came here when it was nice and cool. Only Doug comes midday when he ends up sweating to death. And of course I'm wearing long pants because you have to follow the dress code to go into the pagoda, and that makes me even hotter. There's my first look at the Shwedagon Pagoda. And I'd heard rumors that the pagoda was undergoing renovations, and the main structure was covered with a bamboo platform. And that appears to be true. There's like a massive bamboo scaffolding covering the entire top of the pagoda. So I don't know what it would look like without that, but to me it looks amazing with that bamboo scaffold. That's incredible. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to pay the entrance fee, whether it's here right at the east gate or on the inside, but I'll walk towards. So it looks like you can take an elevator up to that tower and then walk across on the platform, or you can go up on the steps. So let's go in and let's see if somebody yells at me about paying. And there's the tower with the elevators in it. Seems to be a fairly long lineup to take the elevator. And then you can see the scaffolding all around the main structure there. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can to get another look at that scaffolding. Wow, that's incredible. And there's the tower. It turns out that this long lineup and another long lineup behind me appears to be for free food. I've seen a lot of that here in Yangon, that organizations are giving out free meals all over the place. Over there, and there's another one over here, free drinks and food, but I don't know who it is for. As always, I'm having trouble finding the entrance. This great big massive complex, thousands of people, and I can't figure out how to go in. That's how things work with me. Oh, no, thank you. It's okay. So I got the inside scoop on how we go in. Everyone has a drink, but in the crowd, they all get bumped into, so everybody's spilling their drinks all over my feet. Wow, okay. All right, this is where I should have come in. I always manage to come in the wrong way.
Please take off your shoes.
Oh, here too?
Oh, no, please.
Yep. Where do we... already screwed up because I came in through the side entrance. There was no obvious place to stop and take off your shoes. So I didn't really think I was inside the pagoda complex yet, and I just strolled in through the side entrance, and then a man came running up to me a little bit upset and told me to take off my shoes because I was still wearing my sandals. And I'm wondering if I missed the spot where I'm supposed to pay the entrance fee, because I've reached a security checkpoint already. I feel like I should have paid for my ticket already, but we'll find out when I get up to the top. The people in Myanmar are very nice, no question, but in public they can be pretty physical. They can get really quite aggressive, pushing you out of the way if you're in their way. And during the water festival, you saw large groups of people getting together, like 8 or 9 of them in a row. They get behind each other like a caterpillar and push like a tank to drive their way through the crowds. And I got knocked over by a number of those caterpillars. So you got to be on your toes in a big crowd like this, even in Myanmar. It's crowded in here. Moving in, and I still didn't see any place to pay for the entrance fee. Maybe someone will ask me at some point, where's my sticker? Maybe I'll just explain that it fell off or something. I want to pay the fee, but I don't see anywhere where I'm supposed to do that, at least not yet. I got nabbed by the security check-in with my knapsack. They had to put it through x-ray. Maybe it won't stick. Maybe here. Here it's so wet it falls off. There it will stick. That's good. Ah, thank you. If you were looking for a serene experience of the pagoda, today was not the day to come. That is for sure. Man, what a nightmare that was just getting in. All the crowding and pushing and shoving. It's a very busy day. And as I mentioned, the people in Myanmar are not shy about their physical space. If they want to stand somewhere, they're just going to stand there no matter what. There were people standing at the entrance just taking in the sights, and they were blocking hundreds and hundreds of people behind them. And yeah, it didn't bother them at all that they were doing that. But there's the Shwedagon Pagoda with all the scaffolding covering it. And with bare feet, this white rock here is pretty hot on your feet. It's burning a little bit. Whoa, just sweating like crazy. I didn't bring my towel with me today for the first time in forever because I used it so much during the water festival. I was leaving it out to dry and then I forgot about it. Be nice to take a seat somewhere and catch my breath. Just getting in here was a challenge. Oh my goodness. So I rested for a few minutes out of the sun and I let my GoPro and Panasonic cool down. The GoPro in particular was like red hot to the touch. And when I removed the battery, I couldn't even hold it in my hand. It was so hot, it was burning up. My feet are on fire from this exposed surface. And it's so bright up here because of the white floor. I can't see anything. I find it hard to even open my eyes to look around. But it's a very large complex here. They gave me a very nice map of the complex with a lot of historical information when I paid my 10,000 chats. But it's so hot up here and so bright, I can't really read the brochure. It's too much on my eyes. I'll have to wait until later. I have an ATM up here on the pagoda. Oh. Amazing to me, now that I think about it, is that I came in at the east entrance and it was a total madhouse, but that was only one of the entrances. There are actually 4 of them here. So if there are that many people coming in at every entrance, I have the GoPro on the other side capturing the scenery around me. So I hope that works out. I put it back on wide field of view to capture all of this. Absolutely gorgeous up here. I have to rush into the shade from these trees because my feet can't take the hot stone. I've been trapped in the shade of this tree for quite a few minutes now. I keep trying to leave, but it burns my feet so badly I come running back. But I'm going to try and get tough here and see if I can walk around. Because if I run from shady spot to shady spot, then it works out okay. You have a really nice atmosphere here today, with everyone having a picnic and everyone hiding underneath the shade trees just like me. Battery ran out on the Panasonic, so I ran for the shade in order to change it. And when I got there, I literally felt faint. I thought I was going to pass out from the heat. It's that hot up here. It's no joke. I should have listened to all the smart people and come early in the morning. This, as I said, this heat is no joke. There's a view of the whole complex with the main pagoda in the background. From what I saw on the map, there are 4 pagodas in total here. And I believe they do the renovation work every 4 years. So this happens to be the 4th year, so that's why they have the scaffolding up and they're doing the renovation work. I'm using the GoPro a lot today, and I'm hoping that it does not delete all these files, because I don't want to spend another day recovering files. But the GoPro does work a lot better than the Panasonic in a way, just because it has such a wide field of view, and the screen is much brighter. On the Panasonic, I can't see anything. There's the main pagoda again. I'm not sure where these stairs are leading. Going down. but at least it is out of the sun. And it's beautiful down here. Oh. I just realized that this is actually one of the exits. I thought it was going down to somewhere interesting, but it's actually one of the main entrance and exits into the pagoda. As I was leaving, there was a spot where you buy the tickets, and there was a sign saying, you know, only one entrance per sticker. So I wonder if they'll even let me back in. That was another example of just how dumb I'm becoming. I saw those stairs and I honestly thought it was leading down into some kind of a basement or tunnel complex. Even after I spent all that time talking about the 4 entrances with the stairs leading up, never even occurred to me that those were another set of stairs, an entrance and an exit. But I blame my dumbness partially on shooting video. I haven't done this before, and in this heat with 2 cameras running, it's very distracting. So I'm being very, very dumb today. Wow, burning feet here. Gotta head to some shade. Wow. And on every corner they seem to have one of these Bodhi trees planted. Yeah, it's a very nice spot, especially for everyone, as you can see, taking advantage of the shade, get out of the sun. And somebody was really thinking ahead and planning. I've seen water stations like this all over the pagoda. And without these, I think there'd be a lot of people in trouble up here if they didn't bring enough water to drink. The Shwedagon Museum. I've walked around the outside edges now. It's time to move closer towards the main pagoda. You can start to see all of the gold coloring, at least along the bottom. The top, still covered in all the bamboo scaffolding. It's a beautiful place, that's for sure. I left from the Shwedagon Pagoda, but not a moment too soon. I don't think I can survive in this sun much longer. And the walk down was intense. Very narrow, crowded stairway leading into a very crowded, narrow market street. And when I got there, I had to stop to put on my sandals again. But the cement was so hot, I couldn't stop. I was like jumping from one foot to the other like I was on hot coals, trying to bounce around with this camera and my sandals. Oh, that was a struggle. And now I have to work my way back to where I think the buses are. And I think the buses are off in this direction over here. And should be relatively easy to find a bus heading back to Shwedagon Pagoda. I took bus 12 coming up here, so I could take bus 12 going back, or 61, or who knows how many buses. I think I can take this one. I'm going to ask. Sule? I'm on a bus. I don't know if it is the right bus, but this is like a main road that's going straight down to Shwedagon Pagoda. So I think almost any major bus on this road will take me there. This is bus number 12. We'll find out. I'm off the bus back at Shwedagon Pagoda, just 2 or 3 blocks away from lunch and my hostel. So that worked out really well. Bus 12 came straight down that main road, came right here to Shwedagon Pagoda, went around it, and then stopped right there where I was this morning. So all the information I had seemed to be outdated or something. I didn't need to take bus 36 or 43 or 37 or 99 or whatever that all was. I could have taken any of those buses that came there, and the most common bus was number 12. That seems to be the lucky bus to take you to Shwedagon Pagoda. At least it drops you off at the entrance to that long market road that goes all the way up to the eastern gate. So the bus, the bus 12 doesn't take you right to the pagoda. You still have like a half a kilometer walk, but that's a really interesting walk, you know, through that market area right up to the eastern gate and then up those long stairs up to the pagoda. By the time you get there, you feel like you've earned a bit of good fortune, a bit of serenity and peace from the pagoda, because you've put in a little mini pilgrimage to get there, especially in this hot sun. Well, my pilgrimage is over for this morning. I think I'm going to put this camera away and call that the end of the video for today. My visit to Shwedagon Pagoda. Really quite a remarkable place. I don't think I could appreciate it as much as it deserved, just because of the difficult conditions today. So if anyone wants to learn anything from my mistakes, it is don't go midday in the hot season. Listen to what people tell you. Go early in the morning or in the late afternoon. Be a lot more comfortable. See you in the next video. This is my new favorite drink, by the way. Lactosoy. Original soy milk. I just happened to try one of these when I was looking for a cold drink the other day. Couldn't find milk, so I got soy milk. This big square carton of it. And it was very tasty, so I've had 2 or 3 since then. And it's always been nice and cold too. Yes, I needed that today. I just saw myself in the mirror after my trip to Shwedagon Pagoda, and I'm looking pretty red in the face. Such an idiot, as always. Or maybe that's too harsh. Such a dummy. I packed sunscreen for this trip, but I totally forgot that I had it. I forgot I was going out into the hot sun. I never put any on, so I think I burned pretty badly. We'll see what the damage is when I wake up tomorrow. Came back to my chicken biryani place for lunch, but just to make it different, I ordered a drink that they had in the refrigerator, a lassi. And here it is there, lassi. I hope it's nice and cold. Let's give this a try. It's not very cold, but it's really thick and yeah, very strong yogurty kind of flavor. Good lassi. Time for lunch.